Congratulations to all of my fellow graduates. And I want to take a moment to thank you for trusting me to speak to our experience in the writing track of the Author Conservatory. When I first joined the conservatory, I developed a mindset that got me far. I'm not paying this much money to be told I'm doing it right. Each of today's graduates have embraced the sentiment of these words with their teachability and tenacity throughout the writing track. However, when my 16-year-old self wrote that motto, I didn't know just how valuable I'd find the times that I was corrected. And so the most important thing that the writing track has taught me is to keep walking on the journey, trusting that failure is the pathway to success. Let me say that again. Failure is the pathway to success. It is not an alternative. It is not a hindrance. And it is not what you get when you're not good enough to achieve success. Failure is the pathway to your dreams coming true. As Katie already mentioned, my first 2 novels in the conservatory lived up to the wise words of our very own Katie Phillips. Writing a novel is like building a house. If you've never tried putting one together before, your first attempts alone are likely to be disastrous at best. In particular, my second novel started off strong only to dissolve into a hot mess in the middle of my synopsis stage. Though I consistently showed up to critique calls and edited plot points and changed characters and considered themes, I didn't even have a climax for 3 months. From firsthand experience, I can say that being told you're doing it wrong is hard. It can cause you to question if you'll ever be an exceptional writer, or whether you'd be better off running away to Alaska and becoming a potter. However, that is the challenge and the joy of the writing track. It taught me to press into hardship because trials are an invitation to growth. To my graduating class, you are standing here because you refused to give up when things got hard, when you got the edit letter that made you question your career, when you wondered if you'd ever do justice to the story that you love, when suffering collided with your novels and plans, sending them careening off course, you kept walking through it all. Easy going does not teach endurance. Failure and hardship teach endurance. However, that endurance is what you must develop in order to reach success. Thus, failure becomes an essential teacher on the path to fulfilling your dreams. I experienced this with the second novel that I already mentioned, which some of you may know as my tea shop novel. After its exciting challenges in development and first draft, editing this novel was one of the hardest things I've ever done. And all throughout, I kept wondering, is this worth it? However, with endurance, I finished the third draft and sent it off to a professional editor for an assessment. I received back a glowing edit letter, the kind that my 16-year-old self could only dream of. Further querying materials for this novel have already received positive reactions from instructors, authors, and agents, and I've never even pitched it yet. There's no secret to success and no shortcut that gave me the opportunity to stand on this stage today. Any one of our graduates could have given this speech because they have all walked the journey with hope and with endurance. So, to our friends and family here, please honor your graduate today. They have given blood, sweat, and tears to this writing process, and I commend them for their courage on this journey. To my graduating class, I am so proud of you. As you go from here, don't forget how far you've come, and don't be afraid to fail. The story that you're living already inspires me, and I can't wait to see how God brings each of you into the success He has in store. To the students behind us, and to all of you, press into the journey because suffering is an invitation to growth. And trust that failing something doesn't make you a failure. In fact, it's an essential step of courage and hope on the journey to achieving your dreams, further up and further in. Thank you.